David and his men lived in the same area as a wealthy herdsman by the name of Nabal, a descendant of Caleb. He was known to be mean and harsh, but he had a beautiful wife who was known to be more practical when it came to dealing with other people. Her name was Abigail. It was an advantage to Nabal to have David and his men in the same area. This kept the foreign raiders from coming to that area and taking his sheep and killing his servants. Still, when Nabal had his annual sheep shearing festival, he didn't invite David and his men. So David sent 10 young men to Nabal and with this message. He said, "Peace to you and yours. I respect you as if you're my own father. You can ask your shepherds. We have protected them and their flocks the entire time that we have been here. Instead of us coming to the festival, please send some food and provision with these young men." Nabal says, "I don't know this David, and I'm sure not his father. In this day and age, there's all kinds of slaves running away from their masters. Tell him to go back to where he came from. I'm not going to take food from my servants and give it to a stranger." The young men went back and gave this message to David. David turned to his men and said, "Strap on your swords. I have protected this man and all of his possessions, and this is how he has repaid me with insults. Mark my word. There will not be one man alive by morning in his camp." While this was going on, one of Nabal's servants went to Abigail, told her everything that was said and done. Said, "David's men have been like a wall to us. They have protected us day and night, and yet your husband has repaid them with insults and haven't provided them their needs. Unless you do something, your husband has insulted an army that's more than able to destroy all of us." Well, without telling her husband, Abigail gathered some provisions for David and his men. She got 200 loaves of bread, 2 wineskins. She gathered 5 butchered sheep, as well as a whole bushel of roasted grain, 100 clusters of raisins, and 200 cakes of pressed figs. Put them all on donkeys and went down the road. As she came around a big curve in the road, she saw David and his men coming towards her. She got off of her donkey and ran towards them, then fell down with her face to the ground. She said, "It's my fault that your men were mistreated. If I would have treated them better if I had known that they were coming. Please, forgive my husband. His name means fool, and he's just acting it out. I have brought you these provisions. Please accept them. It is the Lord who has kept you from getting revenge upon your enemy today. Someday, you'll be king. The Lord has fought all your battles for you, and He will continue to fight them. When you become king, you will want a clear conscience on what you did today. David said, "The Lord sent you here today. Because of your wisdom, I will not shed blood upon the person who offended me." So he took the provisions and went his way. Abigail went back to her camp. Her husband was eating and drinking as if he was a king. She didn't tell him what she'd done. She waited until the next morning after he had a long sleep, and finally he was totally sober. And then she told him what she had done the day before. As soon as he heard it, he had a heart attack and laid in a coma for 10 days. And then the Lord killed him. When David heard this, he said, "Praise be to God that I didn't take revenge on the person that offended me." He then sent a message to Abigail and asked her to be his wife. She accepted, and they were married. As it turned out, this was about the same time that King Saul took his daughter Michal, David's wife, and gave her to another man.